Hi, my name is Halle Abadi, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
What's up, guys? Rob here from Relive Entertainment. I'm hanging here with Halle and in the studio, and I'm super excited to be talking to you about your music. I got really hooked as soon as he sent me your music. I got hooked on your voice. You have such an incredible voice, and I'm curious, like, what that was like, kind of like learning and understanding your vocal tones, your vocal ranges early on in your career.
Yeah, I think my voice was something I had to work on a lot because it wasn't something that was very good in the beginning. It was just something that I love to do, which for me is rare. Like, I never do things that I'm not good at. I only do things that I'm super good at. So it took a lot of like performing, and I don't even think I really got to know my voice until I started to record music. And once I got like behind the studio mic and I could really study the way my voice sounded and like where to put this tone and where to like bring it back, that's when I like really got to understand my tone.
And how did that kind of impact your writing process? Like, was that something that you were understanding your voice while you were learning how to be a songwriter? Or like, is that something like, do you feel like songwriting even had any kind of impact now that you like solidified, like, this is what this is my comfortable zone is like?
Yeah, it did. It kind of happened at the same time. I was trying to do this like bad like pop thing. And I feel like if you're going to do that, you have to have a strong voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it kind of just like made my tone more like, I don't know. I feel like it can kind of be like a gut punch sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I see it. So I tapped more into that. It's kind of like, I don't know, like Rihanna is one of my biggest influences tonally, or like Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
So I think tapping into that kind of made my lyrics and the music stronger, and I could say more bold things and feel good about it.
Yeah.
You know?
What about like when you get vulnerable? Like, do you feel like that has any kind of impact with the types of vocal tones, vocal ranges, like the way that you control your voice in the process?
Yeah, I think it does. I think vulnerability is a little bit harder for me too, which is just funny. But when I do a song that's more vulnerable, I feel like people really like that from me.
Yeah.
It's not something you get a lot. I kind of sometimes feel like I hit a point with like the bad pop where I was like, I feel like I'm hiding behind this a little bit, and there's a lot more to me. So yeah, I can give you like the airy, breathy, like singer songwriter too, and kind of mix that with like the hard tones. Yeah.
Now I'm curious about the latest single, Me-a-holic, because it's such an incredible track. But talk to me about like going into the studio and creating this song. It's different. It's a little different from your other stuff. This is more, I don't know, it feels like more of an empowering kind of sound for me.
Really?
But talk to me a little bit about that creative process and what really kickstarted for you.
I wrote that song. It was like my 21st birthday or around then. My management at the time flew like me and my favorite songwriters out to Miami, and we wrote this song at like, I think it was Hit Factory in Miami.
Yeah.
And it was just something. I'm trying to remember who made the beat. Oh, Cole, one of my favorite people, Cole, made the beat, and it was something more like R&B, like cool, playing into this toxic vibe of like, people say I got a problem, but like I don't really care. Like, I'm obsessed with this. And it's a little bit darker too. Like, even if you read the lyrics, I feel like it's a little bit darker, but it's tapping more into that like R&B kind of space that I love.
Yeah. Is that the space that you want to like try and focus on mostly with your music, or are you still trying to test the waters to see like where that comfortable range or sound is like for you?
Yeah, I feel like R&B is something that I love to do. Like, and not full R&B. I think it's like R&B influenced pop.
Yeah.
But I love everything though. Like, I love the guitar singer songwritery stuff for me, like the way I do it, because it's not like folk. I don't think I'm cut out for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I'm doing a lot more in that realm. But also, like, I love dance pop. I feel like Rob and I were talking about this. Like, I think my voice really suits like dance tracks.
Yeah.
So I'm getting more into that too. I have like a few unreleased dance pop songs that I feel like I could literally hear like playing at a club or like playing at a festival or something. So I'm exploring different realms right now, and I love them all.
Yeah. I love that because you're right. Like your voice would sound great in that kind of scene, that genre. And that's usually like that's how I discover like female vocalists through like EDM artists that feature these like incredible vocalists that I've never heard of before, and then all of a sudden it's like they have their own career.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to kind of see that, whether it's like you featuring on one of theirs or them doing like a remix of one of yours. Like,
I'd love to.
if that was the case, what song that you've created would you love to see like or hear a remix from?
Oh my God, that's such a good question. I haven't even thought about this, honestly. I think maybe if there were to be one focus, it's like an older track of mine. I released it in like 2021. But that one I feel like could be a club banger if remixed right. Or even Boy Toy.
Yeah.
I think Boy Toy maybe, yeah.
I mean, that song had so much success, like instantly. The writing process or the lyrics on it is just incredible. Like it's like straight to the point, and I love it. But take me back to that studio session. You also worked with David on that one, who also did me-a-holic. So what was it like collaborating with David in the studio as a producer? Like there's maybe like 3 or 4 other songs that you've worked with him on. So like, are you at that level where like you just walk into the studio with him and just like we already understand each other, we just go, or is it like do you still sit down, have a conversation, and then start recording or working on music?
Yeah, I think the recording process for Boy Toy was interesting because Dave wasn't even in the room when we wrote it. I wrote that in my hotel room. Again, it was the same Miami trip. So it was literally like the day of my birthday.
That was a successful trip.
Yeah, it was an interesting trip for sure. Miami was crazy. Miami was I didn't even go out on my 21st, but that's a different story. But yeah, we wrote it in my hotel room on my birthday. It was just like us like all on the same bed, just like chilling, like, oh, I don't want a F boy, like I don't want to whatever, like a sad boy. I don't know. It was so crazy because I did not think that song was going to be the one that did well. Because to me, I'm like, this doesn't say really much about like me. And it's so funny too because I'm totally like veering off your question, but I just have to say this, like when people that I date hear the song, I feel like they get super like wary and they're like, oh my God, like Boy Toy, is that what you're gonna do to me? And I'm like, no, this is not representative of who I am. But
Hilarious.
Yeah, no, but David was in the room. David was someone, we handed the track off to him like a few months after, and we were like, hey, can you finish this?
Yeah.
And he did. And Dave, he's great. Now we work together a lot. And, usually I go in with like something that's going on in my life or some kind of concept or some lyric that I wrote down, and we like discuss for like 30 minutes. It's like a gossip session. And then we create the beat. He creates the beat while like me and like maybe some co-writes like think about what the lyrics will be. And that's how I love to do sessions. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned that like you get worried when like you write about something and your exes think it's about them because I mean you have a song Salvador that has a name on it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm how did you do how do you do that and like be okay unless the name is just like a made up name type of situation?
No, Salvador is a real person. That's a real name. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a stage name for him. It's a stage name. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun for me. Sometimes it's also kind of like, oh, I don't want people to take everything I sing to heart because some of it is just like for a concept. Some of it is like satirical.
Yeah.
You can't take everything to heart. But, I feel like when you involve dating, I understand like if someone that I'm dating is a musician and they're singing about certain things, I'd be like, what does that mean? Like, what are you talking about? So I get why people listen to my music and try to like figure me out, but it's the worst way to get to know me.
True. Like, it's funny because when I first listened to Boy Toy, I don't know. I just picture like people just like listening to it and like with a checklist, like, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. Like, what was that writing process though? Because was this one of those things where like you felt like these lyrics just kind of flowed out of you, or was this something that you were actively trying to be clever with it?
You're definitely trying to be clever. I think that whole song is us trying to like kind of be funny. Again, it's like a little bit satirical, But there's a lot of different ways you can interpret that song. I know a lot of like young girls love that song.
Yeah.
That was a huge thing for that. And
It's an anthem.
yeah, well, yeah, in a way. I think for me, it's kind of about like having standards. It's not like a gendered thing. It's
Yeah.
literally just like know what your standards are and stick to them, and don't like let
Yeah.
people, try to like run game on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So that's what that song is to me.
It's easy for people today, like, to just be okay with it. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's all right.
Totally, to
I'm with
settle.
someone now. It's all right.
Yes.
Like,
I know. Yeah. A lot of people I know settle now, and I'm like, hey, like, how's your, relationship? And they're like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, what do you mean it's
but I'm
okay?
not
Like,
alone. Like,
yeah,
I'm just like, all
exactly.
right. I don't get
Exactly.
it, but all right.
Yeah, me neither. I don't get it either.
So now that me-a-holic is out, like, what else can we look forward to? Like, do you see any shows like in the near future? Like, do you want to focus more on more writing sessions, more recording sessions? Like, what can fans look forward to?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely focused on releasing music consistently, because I have so much unreleased music that I
Yeah.
really, really love, and I really want people to hear and kind of get like the full scope of who I am, because there's a lot of different sides to me. I'm a
Yeah.
Gemini, so I can go like a lot of different ways,
Yeah.
and I think it'll be cool to put that music out and have people like, really understand me and the story
Right.
behind it, so they can expect, hopefully, like music, every couple months now.